Who is Spider-Man? He's a criminal, that's who he is. A vigilante, public menace. What's he doing on my front page? Miss Brandt, get me a violin. And get out of here!
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Starkside. While you're here, please support the channel by hitting the like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe as well as the notification bell. Today we'll be talking about the Marvel Legends Armadillo Wave Spider-Man No Way Home J. Jonah Jameson. Here we have J. Jonah Jameson in the standard Marvel Legends packaging. At the front we have the Spider-Man No Way Home movie logo. Well, not a movie logo because it doesn't say No Way Home, but the font is clearly the same. We got this nice label that says J. Jonah Jameson. At the top, we have a nice image of the spider logo for the MCU Spider-Man. At the side, we have a nice image of Jameson and Spider-Man as he appears in No Way Home. Same on the other side. At the back, we have a brief bio of the character. If you want to read it, you can pause the video. And here we have the other figures from the wave. Alright, let's get J. Jonah Jameson out of the packaging.
J. Jonah Jameson here.
And here we have J. Jonah Jameson Jr. as he appears in the MCU. Now before we get into the figure itself, I do want to point out that the backdrop and the packaging here looks really cool. Maybe we could use this when you take pictures of this figure. Anyway, just a brief bio of this character. So this version of Jameson is played by J.K. Simmons, the same actor who portrayed Jameson in the original trilogy, and whose performance is so iconic that he was brought back for the MCU. This new Jameson was also updated to better show the changes in the state of journalism today. So instead of being the editor-in-chief of the Daily Bugle newspaper, he has this online podcast and news network similarly called the Daily Bugle. And this one is also bald to better differentiate him from the previous iterations of the character. Moving on, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So besides the Build-A-Figure piece and the alternate head sculpt, Jameson comes with a bunch of alternate hands. We got this pointed finger hand for the right, this one fisted hand for the left, and an extra pair of open palm hands. Taking a look at this pointed finger hand, so this is sculpted nicely. It's got a nice flesh tone, nothing too crazy about this. Same with the fisted hand. One thing that I did notice with this fisted hand is that they sculpted this ring. So yeah, maybe Jameson is, I'd say, happily married. I don't know. These open palm hands look like they're either for complaining or high fives maybe. But anyway, these are sculpted nicely. The ring is also sculpted here, so yeah, that's great. You can also use these hands on other figures. For instance, these hands port in well with the Shang-Chi figure. However, there is a slight difference in the flesh tone, but with the right lighting, maybe you could make it work. I also do wish that they included more accessories, like a microphone for his podcast or a briefcase. Taking a closer look at the figure itself, starting with the head sculpts, this looks sick. I think it looks amazing. It does capture the likeness of actor J.K. Simmons. Wow, this looks great. They even sculpted in some wrinkles in the forehead. Wow. Nice hair sculpt here as well. Good job, Hasbro. Anyway, switching it up with the alternate head sculpt, which isn't that hard to do. And wow, I think this one looks even more amazing. I'm loving this classic Jameson expression on his face. I can actually imagine him saying, "Menace!" I am definitely using this one as my default J. Jonah Jameson head sculpt. Taking a look at the rest of the figure, so I think most of the parts here are reused, as evidenced by the lack of pinless joints in the elbows and legs. Anyway, his shirt here on the inside is sculpted nicely. You can see that there's a little bit of wrinkling there. That's great. Nice sculpt for the jacket as well. Even the buttons are sculpted in. I like that. Nice pockets right there. The blue paint apps here look awesome as well. However, one thing that I don't like about this is this middle portion of the jacket. I don't think there's any way to separate them. So yeah, it will hinder the articulation, which I will show later in this video. Moving on, there's some nice wrinkling sculpted in the arms here as well. That's great. Again, nice blue paint apps. There's more wrinkling here at the pants as well. So yeah, since Jonah here is mostly wearing a suit, there isn't a lot that I can say about it. Shoes look great, yeah. Overall, I think this figure looks great. Good sculpt and paint apps. The head sculpts look amazing. However, I do wish they would stop reusing parts for the figures that are wearing suits. Anyway, let's go over the articulation of this figure. Jameson can look up that far. That looks great. And he can look down as well. His head does rotate. No backward forward shifting motion. There's also some nice neck pivot here. So yeah, I like that. His arms can bend upward only that far. So this is really far from the 90-degree mark. Anyway, his arms bend downward all the way. So yeah, that part's great. His shoulders do rotate 360. He has a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. His wrists do rotate and move up and down. He has an ab crunch forward and backward as well, but as you can see, the sculpt of the jacket here really hinders this ab crunch a lot. So yeah, you really can't move him forwards or backwards that much. He has a waist swivel. His legs move upward that far, so yeah, this part's great, but not so much backwards. His hips do move outward very far, but yeah, this jacket hinders this articulation as well. He has an upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. His ankles do move up and down as well, and he also has ankle pivot. Now for some figure comparisons, here's J. Jonah Jameson next to the Far From Home Spider-Man and Far From Home Mysterio. So I do think the heights here line up pretty well. We haven't seen these three physically together in the MCU so far, but yeah, I think the heights here look great. And here's J. Jonah Jameson next to the only other figure from this wave that I already have. So we have the Spider-Man Miles Morales. If you haven't seen my review of this Miles Morales figure, go check that out. So that's my review of the Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home J. Jonah Jameson. Overall, this figure has amazing head sculpts, the decent sculpt and paint apps for the body. Accessories could have been more, and the articulation could have been better if it weren't for that jacket sculpt. I think they could have used a softer material for the jacket. Anyway, overall, it's still a good figure. If you're wondering where I got this figure, so I actually pre-ordered this figure from a local toy store here in the Philippines called Hypebeast. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this figure. Let me know what you think of my review. Please leave a comment below. And if you like this video, hit that like button. And if you still haven't, hit that subscribe as well as the notification bell. You can also follow me on social media. Links in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.